I don't know if it's working. Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick vlog. It's like 9:30 at night. Um, but something's been bothering me about this Barilla pasta company situation. If you don't know what Barilla pasta is, you've probably been living under a rock. But um, I just wanted to make a vlog in support of the Barilla company and the owner of the company, the chief executive officer. His name's Guido. I can't pronounce it. It's Guido Barilla. Um, I want to support Barilla for a few reasons. Number one, they make some kick-ass product. I really like the whole grain spaghetti. I really like the omega 3 uh, pasta that they have. They have a fiber white that we had today. I made some really kick-ass chicken parmesan. I'm gonna have to put the recipe up on here. I might do that next. Um, but part of the side dish was mini penne pasta, and that was the white fiber. It was called. It has like some extra fiber. It's fortified with fiber, but still white pasta. My wife and kids, they don't really care for whole wheat or whole grain. That's my thing, and since I'm cooking for them as well as myself, I make compromises, with our bread even, and we get the whole wheat white. Because I like wheat, she likes white, and we meet in the middle, and we found a bread that we really agree on. We both like, so that's what we do. Same thing with the pasta. I don't like, you know, necessarily like the white pasta. I'll eat it, but I'm more into the whole grain. Um, and even the Tingata, the rice pasta, but she's really not into that. She just likes plain white pasta, which is fine. And so, we do make a compromise. And compromise is a big part of this vlog, a big part of what I want to talk about. Guido Barilla, pretty much, he was on a radio show a week or so ago. The radio host, he asked him why his company does not have any ads with gay families, which is a loaded question. It's kind of a trick question. He's kind of like he's setting them up for it. Like somebody put him up to it. Like, hey, let's trap this guy. Let's see if we can get him in trouble here somehow. Um, and pretty much, um, this was the quote that he made in response to that question. We have a slightly different culture, Barilla said, for a Huffington Post translation of the interview. Now, Huffington Post, I really don't put a lot of stock in what they say. They're kind of a left-wing nut job type um, outlet, but it is the quote. It's on different outlets. It's all over the place. This is the quote. Um, For us, the Sacral family remains one of the company's core values. Our family is a traditional family. If gays like our pasta in our advertisings, they will eat our pasta. If they don't like that, they will eat someone else's pasta. You can't always please everyone, not to displease anyone. I do not, yeah, I would not do a commercial with a homosexual family, not for lack of respect toward homosexuals, who have the right to do whatever they want without disturbing others, but because I don't agree with them, and I think that we want to talk to traditional families. The women are crucial in this. Barola said that he respects people's rights to do what they want without disturbing others, but he does not agree with gay adoption. Um, I do want to make a few points. I'm going to make a few points. I have 3 points here, main points that I want to make. If anything comes to mind, I'll make that too. Number one, in this situation, no homosexual employees were fired or otherwise mistreated based on their sexual orientation. Um, had that happen, had something like that happen, like an employee was told, we're letting you go because you're gay, or we're not going to hire you because of your sexual orientation, or you're not going to get a raise, you're not going to become a supervisor because of your sexual orientation, you get less time for your lunch than heterosexuals. then we would have an issue. Then I would be taking issue as well, because that's a clear infringement of rights. That's a clear discrimination case. But in order to have discrimination, somebody has to be discriminated against. Um, uh, Simply expressing your views in and about itself is not discrimination whatsoever, not even close. I happen to agree with his outlook. Now, does that mean I don't like gay people? Absolutely not. I think that no matter what your sexual orientation is, you can have a lot to contribute to society. Um, you can be sexually attracted to a rock, for all I care, and if you're making contributions to society that matter, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. Now, the second point I want to make: no homosexual was denied services based on sexual orientation. Yes, he did say that critics can eat somebody else's pasta, but that is very far from saying if you're gay, we don't want you buying our pasta. That's not what he said. I mean, I can see how the liberal media could construe it that way and twist the words to make it seem like that's what he said, but in reality, that's not at all what he's saying. What he's saying is that if you don't like their values that they hold, um, then you'll probably go somewhere else and buy somebody else's product, which makes sense. That makes sense. If I don't like, I mean, if I don't like a certain tuna company, canning company, because their actions harm dolphins, for instance, um, I'm not going to go and buy their product. I'm going to buy from the other company that is dolphin safe. And it says it right on the can. The little thing are dolphin safe. And if that's what my value is, if that's what I believe, then that's who I'm going to support, even if it costs me a few cents more. That's what's called having conviction, being a man of conviction or a woman of conviction. That's just holding true to what you believe and not compromising your values. You can still respect others' values without compromising your own. And the problem we get into is when these certain communities, not just the LGBT community, but any community that asks another community to compromise their values in order to accept theirs, um, that cost is too high. I mean, that's a, who are you? Who are you to have the guts to tell somebody, well, you better recognize my beliefs, you better recognize my values, or you're not allowed to have yours. And that's exactly what the movement, the LGBT movement, not all LGBT people, but the movement in itself that you see on the media, that is exactly what they are suggesting. That anybody who has traditional values, anybody who does not agree with the homosexual lifestyle, is a hater and should be criminally prosecuted, and that's just absolutely absurd. Um, I mean, there are people out there who don't, they're vegetarians or vegans. They don't believe in killing animals and eating meat. I mean, now, do you hear them out there saying, well, if you disagree with us, you're that's a hate crime. That's ridiculous. Um, uh, if I disagree with you, how the hell is that a hate crime? I mean, if I go and if I go and I shoot somebody because I want to steal their wallet, um, or I go shoot somebody because they're gay, the outcome of the situation is still the same. I shot somebody. Um, Hate crimes don't exist. It's a made up term by the liberal media, by the liberal agenda, um, to cause division among the American people. That's exactly what it is. Um, the same with a lot of with the race issue. I'm not going to get into that in this video today, but a lot of the liberal media, they love confrontation, they love tension, they love controversy, and they love it when people are divided. Um, they're very threatened by a united front. They don't want any unity. They want everybody to be against it. They want these people on this side against these people on this side, and that's exactly what they want. And this is no different. Um, the third point that I want to make is that the man has a right to express his views. If they don't agree, if they're not the same view that you have, then just uh, take his advice. Buy a different product. Uh, Eat San Giorgio. There's Luigi's something out there. Um, maybe maybe their ads include gay families, and they support that, and maybe they come right out and say, hey, the LGBT community, we agree with you, and we feel you. Um, Patronize them. Um, I mean, get that out of here, go. I mean, it's just to say this guy is discriminating simply by expressing his opinion is once again it's absolutely absurd. Um, I mean, you have traditional values. You have traditional values. You don't. You don't. You have more liberal, progressive values. That's your right. You have a right to believe in the spaghetti monster. You know. I mean, you don't. It's, I don't know what else to say. Um, I think that Guido, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, Barilla, I think that I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think he said anything wrong. I think he has a complete um, entitlement to his opinion. Uh, just, uh, just like um, the LGBT community has an absolute right to their, you know, not buying his product. So I hope that everybody considers that. I hope everybody just sort of, takes the chill pill, um, because it's getting to be, it's getting to be kind of disheartening to see everybody arguing over something so stupid, um, especially since no actual discrimination occurred. Um, it's really a waste of time to argue about it. It's a waste of time to make us something that it's not. The Chick-fil-A was another thing. It was something that wasn't really anything. It was made into something big by the media. Um, the CEO of Chick-fil-A expressed his morals, his values, traditional values, and it wasn't long after that LGBT groups were actually bringing lawsuits to have them put out of business in certain cities, which is very illegal, very unconstitutional, and very immoral and unethical. In business. Um, it violates every business ethic I can think of. What happened with Chick-fil-A violated every business ethic I can possibly think of. Um, then you have all these people, and this is a group, the LGBT. They're a group that heavily promotes tolerance and acceptance and peacefulness. But the fact of the matter is, um, once they discovered there was somebody who had a different opinion than them, and that person was not just going to cave and change their opinion for them, um, you know, I don't believe in evolution of anything. I'm very politically incorrect. And when they found out that's what the situation was, then the true colors of that movement showed, and it showed in the form of vandalism of buildings, threatening of employees, harassment of employees, uh, the bogus, asinine lawsuits, um, just people out in the street hollering. Um, it was turned into something that it really shouldn't have. It really wasn't anything to make a big deal out of. Wendy's has chicken sandwiches. McDonald's, Burger King, they all have chicken sandwiches. Go eat chicken sandwiches somewhere else. If you don't like it. I mean, I don't go to McDonald's because they support amnesty, so I don't support McDonald's. It's not that simple. It's that simple. I'm not trying to get them thrown out of business. I'm not treating them like dirt. I'm not going in there and making a scene. Um, I just take my business elsewhere. That's what's beautiful about America. That's why I love being American, because you can have any opinion you want, and as long as you're acting within the confines of the law, um, that opinion's yours, and nobody can tell you how to feel. Um, and that's the situation here. Nobody can tell Guido Barilla how to run his business. Nobody can tell him who he does and does not have to hire or feature in his advertisements. Um, as long as he's not physically discriminating. And I mean, he's from Italy, and I don't know what their laws are about discrimination. I don't know how their business operates over there, but I'm sure it's not really that much different than ours in the way of discrimination and the likes of that. So, I hope everybody will consider what I said. I hope nobody misconstrues what I'm saying as any kind of anti-gay um, talk. It's really not. I know some people who are, homosexual, and I don't have to agree with their lifestyle. I have to agree with their values or their beliefs in order to respect them. I don't have to believe in somebody's, convictions in order to get along with that person. That person doesn't have to hold the same values as I do in order to be a productive member of society or business. And that's the American way. That's part of the American way. You can have your own opinion and you can express it, and that's what this guy did. I know he's not American, but the the American market is where the uproar is coming from. And I do have to wonder, and this is my closing thoughts. Excuse me one moment. Cheyenne, will you please get out of the mop bucket? Thank you. Um, my closing thought is, I have to wonder if Guido Barilla had come out and said that he would not feature traditional values families in his advertisements, and that he wanted to speak to the homosexual community, I have to wonder, I have to ask, would the same people that are in an uproar now claiming discrimination, would they still be doing it in that situation? 99.9% of me wholeheartedly says a great big resounding no. They would have their mouths shut, and they would be and anybody who and if any traditional value folks would have said, well, hey, if you're not going to speak to traditional values and you're not going to include traditional value families in your advertisements, we're going to boycott you. I guarantee you the LGBT community would be having a piss fit and calling hate crime, um, homophobia, bigotry, all kinds of shit. Um, so it does go both ways. Um, but let's not be hypocritical, folks. Let's just uh, enjoy being Americans, enjoy being free men and women. And when we go to the grocery store, we have the liberty of standing in that grocery store aisle and looking up and down the aisles and seeing many, many, many different brands, many, many different varieties, many different styles of food, many different kinds of products, and we have the ability to pick and choose what we want to purchase. So, with that, I'm going to say good night, and God bless America. I love being an American.